how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Thank you, Holly, for your continued sponsorship of this show and the Duke's Review. And here is the Duke's Review right here. Season 2, Episode 3, titled The Rustlers. Written by Stephen Kendall. Directed by Richard Motor, or Dick, as his friends called him. I don't know that that's true. Original air date, October 5th, 1979. Our original review in Episode 13 of the Kibbe and Finnegan Show in November of 2016. Here's the show preview right here.
Horse snappers come to Hazzard County, and guess who gets blamed?
You boys are gonna get life for this.
Get on him and give him a try.
He's crazy.
Strike one.
Teammate.
Hey, Enid.
Howdy, Daisy.
Boss, I ain't lied to you in months.
Hey, now watch it.
There you go. Nice little episode here. For those of you who are new listeners who have found us on YouTube and are viewers, welcome. And for those of you who are new viewers who have not heard everything yet, we have reviewed all 7 seasons of The Dukes of Hazzard on our audio podcast feed already. You can go back and listen to them now if you can't wait. Otherwise, for the next few years, we'll be bringing you the entire series of The Dukes of Hazzard, all 7 seasons of them, including this one here, Season 2, Episode 3. I'm Rob Kibbe, longtime automotive podcasting know-it-all. He is Brittany McPartland, a longtime automotive producer know-it-all. He is Justin Corndog Cornett, actual know-it-all. Here's the IMDb summary. The Dukes help friend Burl Tolliver deal with horse rustlers who aim to use his racing steeds on the national circuit. Bo and Luke are blamed, falsely of course, for the theft of $25,000. That didn't seem right. Anyway, it's Burl Tolliver on the horse. I think this review has 2 reviews combined in it. That's a review from last week. Or I copied it in wrong. Anyway, it's the one from Burl Tolliver. DVD summary. Boss Hogg doesn't horse around, especially when it comes to Lulu Hogg's stakes race. He aims to steal a sure winner, but so do a gang of rustlers. Can Bo and Luke ride to the rescue? Super.
Kind of cheesy, but, good enough.
Still confused by the IMDb one. I must have pasted that in wrong. Anyway, here's my summary. This episode admittedly does not feature the generally. Bern, do you have summary music here? Of course you do. But it's not without its charm. First, we get an epic Uncle Jesse image that will forever be used in memes for the rest of our lives. You know the memes showing you when you're a kid and then showing you again when you're over 40, or over 50, over 60. It's the one of him climbing out of the window sideways and it says, ugh. It's all old and fat. Can't deal with life anywhere. And then we get Boss Hogg going pretty heavy on the fat jokes on his wife.
Oh, yeah.
Not appropriate, but funny. And then we get a horse racing the general. That's right, a horse. Bird, good news. The general does win. It does beat the horse. Not literally. But the horse is going 40 miles an hour. That's Secretariat speed. It's a pretty fast horse. General still won. And finally, we get to meet the real-life Mrs. Rosco P. Coltrane before she's the Mrs. Rosco P. Coltrane. It's a fine episode. Not enough General Lee for me, though. But we get a star in Mel Tillis. 7 dogs. I give it 7 corn dogs. Did you guys watch the episode?
I did. It's been quite a while since I've seen this episode. Definitely not one of the go-to episodes, but good. Good enough.
Burton, did you see this one in years past? This is the one with Mel Tillis.
It is with Mel Tillis, and I did not recall seeing it before. That was before I was required to do any homework before the show because Finnegan was doing it all for me. I did watch it. I did not remember it, but I liked it. It had its high points and some interesting things I'm sure we'll cover. Hopefully.
Well, the gist of it is here, the Dukes are a helpful family, and they help out some neighbors, and the neighbors are Mel Tillis and his daughter. And Mel Tillis was a country singer and famous for a lot of things, but Mel Tillis as a kid had malaria. And after he had malaria, he developed a stutter, and a significant stutter. And he was known for speaking with a stutter. but also a stutter that did not affect his ability to sing.
That's always amazed me, is how people can do that. And it kind of goes the same with people who speak with an accent and then sing, and then the accent just goes away.
I was thinking that same thing. It's like when you find out a singer is English,
yeah,
and you hear them speaking with a heavy an English accent, like, what?
Yeah, that's not you.
You're supposed to be American sounding.
Well, it's the Mel Gibson syndrome. I had no idea he was Australian until I heard him on an interview and he was talking his native tongue. I was completely blown away. Just wow.
I have a really good friend who has a stutter, and when he is leading a group prayer, he doesn't stutter. It's just one of those things. There are certain scenarios when people who have a stutter or that just doesn't affect them in other situations. And it's who knows why that works that way. But in the case of Mel Tillis, he was somewhat famous for his stutter. And the way that he would deliver his lines was kind of famous. So I pulled one up here. And quite frankly, the fact that he has a stutter makes the line deliver with more impact.
Jesse, boys, 20 years I've sweat and dreamed of owning a horse like old Manassas here. And if I don't get your help,
Dream is gone.
that's right. And all that's left is the sweat.
And I don't know if Mel Tillis was intended to be a regular recurring star. I frankly don't even know why he was in this episode.
Yeah, same here.
But the way that he delivered his lines with that stutter made them, to me, more impactful. You empathize with him more.
Well, it's something he picked up and we practice in broadcast, and it's called If You Can't Fix It, Feature It. And so the way he raps and builds a character around that is just brilliant. Just way to go. It's just so cool. And now he's forever identified with that. And it's okay. It's all good because it's Mel Tillis.
I was going to say, on the scenes where he was there with the Duke group, I don't know if I was just reading into this, but it almost like if you watched John Schneider while Mel Tillis was talking, it was almost like he wasn't making fun of him, but it was like he was impatient. You know,
I was
like,
watching that. I saw that and I thought, well, gee, what a professional, because he's giving the thing room to breathe. He may not, he's not real happy about it, but he's pro enough to shut up and let it happen.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was the only one that picked up on that, or maybe I was just reading into it, but I'm glad you noticed that as well.
He's smarter. I didn't notice it at all. Was he not paying attention?
He was just kind of a long pause. He was holding character, like whatever facial expression he had, he would just hold it until Tillis would finish his line.
Were you trying to do a stutter there?
No, I do it sometimes.
All right, the gist of the episode is Mel Tillis and his daughter have a horse, a magical, very fast horse. They want to race the horse, sell the horse, make a bunch of money. That's the gist of the episode. For some reason, at this point in time, Boss Hogg's fat wife, Lulu, wants to own a champion racehorse. It's never been mentioned before. It'll never be mentioned again, but she wants to own a racehorse. And she does keep track of Boss Hogg's promises and failures to her, including an episode from season 1 where she talks about the Rolls Royce that got crushed.
Yeah.
She brings that up here. I didn't remember that. Very rarely does the Dukes of Hazzard actually circle back to a prior episode and keep a continuity line in there. But the Dukes pull up to Mel Tillis' farm, and Uncle Jesse comes climbing out of the general half sideways, scraping his belly on the way out, and makes a very, very good point.
Well, good morning. Hey, Burl. Why we got a haul feed around in this thing when we got a perfectly good pickup truck? Hey, Burl!
Why do they use the generator to haul bags of feed when they have a truck?
The only thing I could think of is because, even though they've done this multiple times, but 3 adults in the front bench seat of a single cab truck is not very comfortable. But I guess neither is climbing through the roll bar of a car either, with doors welded shut. But I don't know.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned roll bar. In some of your original notes, you pointed out that this particular car for these scenes doesn't have a roll bar.
Mm-hmm.
And there are other scenes where the General Lee's racing the horse and it's a different car with a roll bar. But this particular General Lee has no roll bar. It has a column shift automatic column with no handle, and the car is a floor shift.
Mm-hmm.
The trunk lid underneath is green, and there's a jack sticker on it. And I want to say that there was a while where someone was trying to prove, and you'd walked us through this, that this was one of the lost General Lees that the Smith brothers had restored.
Right.
Is this that car?
It's hard to say for sure. I mean, you would need more evidence than the bottom side of the trunk lid being factory color, and especially with it being factory green paint, because I swear that was probably the most, if you looked at all the colors that they offered and divided them out by percentages, I would imagine that the green had the higher percentage of colors of
the
cars
most
sold.
common color of Charger.
Yeah, because I mean it seems like every one of them were green. But yeah, to just say, hey, look, there's the green deck lid with the sticker that every other one has, and I don't know. I would need more evidence than that. But yeah. So yes, it was said that was the surviving car.
Well, Mel Tillis is there with his daughter, and her character's name is Sherry Tolliver. The actress's name was Dorothy Collier, who would later become Dorothy Best. So, Corndog, did Dorothy, and she's a few years younger here, did she meet James Best on this episode?
I don't know that I've actually ever heard that story on whether or not that's the case. I mean, maybe they worked together on something else, but it sounds good that, because I don't know if he was still married at this point or divorced or what, but yeah, it sounds good that they met here.
One thing we know for sure, she got the best of him.
Yeah.
That she did. She certainly did. So the Dukes commit to help Mel Tillis. They're going to stake the entry fee of the horse, the $500 entry fee, into the Lulu Hogg first and last annual horse derby, whatever the hell it is.
I show or know. Something.
In the meantime, though, Boss Hogg finds out about this, and he wants a piece of this horse. He's about to buy a different horse for her from the Dunlap Horse Ranch, and the Dunlap Horse Ranch has a sleazy horse salesman, and the actor that plays him is actor Brett Halsey. Halsey, like a lot of guest actors on the Dukes of Hazzard, will be in another episode, actually in two more. He'll be in Season 5, Episode 9, Enos in Trouble, and then again Season 7, Episode 6, The Dukes in Hollywood. In that particular episode, he plays a sleazy producer driving a Cobra. Guess I thought you guys would like that part more. You don't care. All right.
I'm trying to remember, wait, a Cobra.
Cobra. It's a white Cobra. In the Hollywood episode in Season 7.
I'm trying to remember if I remember the Cobra. That's another episode I've only seen just a handful of times.
Well, in this episode, he plays a horse salesman, but he's really a horse stealer. He steals horses, sells them before they're gone, and he knows his horses, but mostly he knows how to steal horses and make a lot of money.
So you're saying he's a rustler?
He is a rustler.
Okay.
Hey. I wonder if he wears Wranglers.
Probably.
No. Hard to say. The rest of the episode is the Dukes trying to unsteal a horse because the Dukes are just helping people out. The horse is stolen by Boss Hogg, and then from Boss Hogg, the horse is stolen by a rustler. Now, we do get a rare appearance by Rick Hurston here playing the role of Cletus. And this is the second, maybe it's the second time we're going to see Cletus. Have we already seen? I think we already saw him once.
Yes, it was the episode where he does basically the same exact thing, and blows up a vehicle and acts like he's injured and
is a distraction to the Dukes so something else can happen. In this case, the Dukes they're transporting a horse, and Cletus distracts them so that the horse can be stolen while they're not looking. In this case, Cletus wrecks a hidden headlight cougar, like a cool cougar.
I love those cougars. I really do.
What year is that? Like 68?
Yeah, probably a 7 through 8, I believe, or 7, 8, 9 maybe. I'm not good at cougar years, but yeah, I love that body style.
Very cool car. And just like the episode where he was that you mentioned before, he blows this up and it dies. So there's that.
Yeah.
Eventually, the Dukes realize that they've been swindled. Boss Hogg realizes he's been swindled, and everybody wants to get the horse back. The Dukes get the horse back by stealing it away and then riding it at full tilt cross country prior to it running a race. Now, I remember as a kid, my mom grew up with horses. She was a farm kid. She rode a horse as a kid. And she said, there is no way in hell. She didn't say that word, but something to the gist of it. There's no way in hell, Hades, that you could run a horse that hard prior to a race. There's no such thing as warming up the horse for the race. That's what Luke said. That's not a thing. You don't warm up. You save it for the race.
If anything, it walks in the stall back and forth, and that's about it.
Yeah, racehorses are high-strung animals. They are high-performance vehicles. You don't use it all up up front. We get a few interesting car things in here, unrelated to generally. You get an interior shot of Boss Hogg's caddy. The interior on that thing is just garbage.
Yeah,
there's a piece of like side upholstery off of one seat that's gone.
Yeah, and they spray dyed the interior in that car because that car, I believe, was originally gold with tan or gold interior, and they just painted it white and painted the interior white. And many episodes, the earlier episodes, you can see the interior is showing its wear pretty bad.
Yeah, I think it's at like the 4450 mark. You see the white seats, and there's these weird metal brackets that hang over the seat.
Mm-hmm.
Like brackets that like a tray that you'd put on a window for food. Back in the day. It is quite odd. The bad guys at one point are driving a 2-door Buick. I'm going to say Apollo. What's the Buick version of a Nova?
Was it a Venture or no? That's
Pontiac. A Pontiac. Old as Omega. I think it is Apollo.
Huh.
I think it's the same bad guy car that Patch is going to drive in the Jude Emery episode coming up here. The bad guys get caught. Bo and Luke win. The horse wins the race. Mel Tillis gets paid off. That's the episode. Have I missed anything?
I've got one thing that kind of annoyed me with this episode was, okay, so this horse was supposedly just the fastest thing anybody had ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
But then when Boss Hogg and Rosco pull up to the farm and the horse gets spooked and Sherry or whatever her name was, Dorothy Best, is on the horse and it gets spooked and just darts off across the field, Bo jumps on another horse that apparently runs faster than this horse because he was able to catch up with her and pull up next to her and get the horse under control. But on the scene, because I had to actually watch it close because I was like, okay, well, maybe she was on a different horse and then he jumps on the fast horse and catches up. But no, it was the other way around. He's on a darker colored horse and she's on the lighter brown color. And he catches up with the super fast horse. And everybody, the bad guys, they're over there watching and they're like, man, that's the fastest thing I've ever seen. But
they're ignoring the horse that actually caught the fast horse.
Yeah, Bo's on a faster horse. So what's up with that?
He's on a faster horse of a different color.
Yeah. Why didn't you say so?
I thought Burr would love that. I mean, that's as bad as it gets.
Nodding with approval.
He hasn't completely tapped out.
And another thing too was going back to Peggy Ray, Lulu.
Yeah.
This is only the second time we see her, and like you mentioned, the only other time previous to this was Repo Man in Georgia. And this is season 2, and this is the only episode in season 2 that she will be in. And that's it. You don't see her again till season 3. When it's I'm looking now, it's actually Miss Rosco P. Coltrane, where the lady comes in and marries her brother Roscoe. So yeah, you don't see much of her at all. And looking at IMDb, she was only on 19 episodes. So I thought her part was actually kind of interesting in this actual episode, because I don't even know that she even interacted with any other.
She never did. All of her stuff was shot separately.
Yeah.
With her eating.
Right.
She's constantly eating.
And there was a lot of lines in here that they couldn't get away with today about like Rosco or Boss Hogg says she doesn't need to be in the winner's circle because someone would throw a saddle on her.
Yeah.
You definitely are going to get a winner. Which is more than I got when I married her. Here, Alex, you listen to it for a while. You hear?
Oh, he does. He does.
So
I grabbed a line. I can't remember if I have a piece of Boss's bad comments in here or not, but this is Lulu announcing all of his failures.
I have had nothing but aggravation, as I told you. Now, you remember what happened with the Rolls Royce. It was melted down into a little bitty cube of metal. And then that mink coat, remember what happened to that? It was nothing but possum. When I went out in the rain, it stuck up the whole Hazzard count.
Boss eventually gives the microphone to somebody else. Says, you listen to
it. You listen to it. That bit about the possum, I cracked up. And that's so funny. And that seems like something Boss would do.
Isn't that kind of a rare thing that they reference other episodes and other events? It doesn't happen often, but it's cool.
It never happens that they each episode of The Dukes is a standalone product, typically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You need no context to understand anything. But yeah, I do like it when they do that. And they do a nice piece with her because they have her sitting in her bedroom or something like that.
Like a lounge chair.
In a lounge chair. And on the mantle is a photo of James Best, but like a younger photo of James Best. I mean, it's clearly she's, that's supposed to be her brother.
And there's another photo there too. Talking about throwing back to the earlier episode, Repo Man. There's sitting right next to her phone, or the little table next to her, is a photo of Boss Hogg sitting in the Gray Ghost that we just reviewed.
Oh yeah,
the first episode of season 2. What's the
Days
episode?
of Shining Roses.
Yes,
yeah.
that one where it's like looking into the driver's side door, and Boss Hogg has his his get up for driving the Gray Ghost, and there's a photo, like an 8x10 photo, that's framed on the table right next to her, and he even autographed it or wrote something on it, and I meant to go back and look and see what it was that he wrote on that photo. But we should actually start like you like to keeping up with the General Lees. We should do another list, and anytime that they, reference a previous episode, make note of it.
I like that idea. That's a good idea.
There's not many times that happens.
It's quite rare. Okay. So noted in the logs, Burn. Did you see that?
Extreme close-up. Yeah, dub in the Wayne's World extreme close-up right there.
Extreme close-up! Whoa! 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 Excellent extreme close-up.
I wish I knew why that happened or how to just go here. Okay. Anyway, that's the summary of the episode. Unless we have any other strange facts about it. I went and found your original notes, Corn Dog. There were 2. We've already discussed them. You weren't a big fan of this episode in the original review. You just basically said there's like no generally in this.
No, I mean, we get to see the covered bridge, which is we see multiple times. And this is at the Golden Oak Ranch, Disney Ranch. And they actually made it correct. The projector screen where they're doing the in-car views, there's pretty early in the episode, Rosco is driving the police car, of course, and the screen that they have behind him actually shows the covered bridge. So I was impressed about that.
I think in the blooper reel that we showed in the last episode that features James Best swearing, there's also Luke on a saddle with a deer head in front of him with antlers, and there's nothing more, and he's, pretend to ride the horse. That's for this episode.
Yeah.
But there's nothing else to this one. I don't know. I would love to know why Mel Tillis was on this episode and if he was meant to be a recurring guest.
I would only have to imagine that it had something to do with maybe like Waylon Jennings made the connection, and maybe Mel Tillis wanted to get into acting or something, and maybe Waylon opened that door for him. But I thought it was kind of funny too that Waylon, when he would say his lines, he actually stuttered purposely.
Waylon's finale piece where he sums up the episode and writes all the wrongs. He says, and Mel Tillis got the but
Burl Tolliver won enough money to pay off his mortgages to Boss.
Got the win. It seems like it's not very nice to do that, but maybe it was done out of love.
Yeah. I imagine they were probably friends, and that's probably the connection there.
Well, it did open the door for him. He did a heck of a job in Cannonball Run. Mel Tillis did.
That's right. I remember he was on that.
I think I gave this a 7. I could back it down to a 6. There's nothing bad about it. It's just unremarkable from a generally perspective.
Yeah.
I'll go back to 7 because it has the reference to another episode. What do you give it, Corn Dog?
I'm right there with you. I don't know if I want 6 or higher, but yeah, it's kind of, I hate to say it, but it's kind of a forgettable episode. But it's not bad.
What do you think, Bern?
I'm going an 8.
Wow.
I'm going 8 on this one. There were some things in here you guys missed. You missed some good footage of Corn Dog's Roadrunner, Daisy's Roadrunner in there.
Yeah.
Good shots of that. That was fun. Daisy apparently had laryngitis on this episode. Not much dialogue from her. That was kind of odd. And I thought, you know what? That kind of makes her on her way to the definition of almost a perfect woman.
Dude.
And there went any other sponsor we had.
Yeah. She doesn't say much, and she owns a still.
Well, boy, once you hit 65, you can just do whatever you want, can't you?
Well, it's true.
It is just over. Like, screw this. I can't fire you. Right? I don't care. There's no punishment you can receive.
What's she gonna do? Come to our booth?
I'm talking about you. Like, you're the. She. This was 40 years ago for her. All right, Bern, what do you give the episode? You gave it an 8?
I gave it an 8. I did.
Okay. All right. Fellas, anything else before we go?
I have a little review. Here's my
episode?
synopsis.
All right.
The Dukes are saddled by the job of saving a horse flying off to the wrong home. They're continually hoofing through the story with a few good lines, if you get all the bits. The horse is the main character with the bad guys in a van and not a Bago. We recommend you sow your oats with this one.
Is that what you've been typing?
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Right. Good work, Bern. All right, fellas. Thank you as always, everybody. Thank you for watching and listening. We'll be back next week for the Patreon audience. Another one of Corn Dog's deep dives on the topic of something very important to the masses and secret photos.
Plot thickens.
Can't wait to find out myself. All right. See you guys later. Make sure to subscribe. 20 more and we're monetized. See you later.
you